The sun was shining bright over the neighborhood park, and laughter echoed from every corner. Children ran freely, their joy unshaken by life's troubles. But not for everyone. In a quiet corner near the swings, two little girls stood frozen, tears glistening in their eyes as a boy twice their size loomed over them. They held each other's hands, helpless, while parents nearby seemed too distracted to notice. Then, out of nowhere, a firm voice cut through the chaos. A single dad, tired from work but fueled by instinct, stepped forward. What he didn't know was this moment would change his entire life. The day had started like any other for Ryan. A single father of a 7-year-old boy, he had his hands full juggling work and parenting. Today, though, was special. His son had begged to go to the park after school. Ryan agreed, thinking a little fresh air would do them both good. After all, his own life had been anything but easy lately. Between overtime hours at the corporate office and late-night laundry runs, he barely had time to breathe. But he never let his son see his struggles. As they reached the park, Ryan took a deep breath, letting the crisp spring air fill his lungs. He smiled as his son dashed toward the jungle gym, his laughter ringing through the open space. For a few minutes, Ryan allowed himself to relax on a nearby bench, scrolling through emails on his phone. Deadlines loomed, but at this moment, his son's happiness mattered more. That peace shattered when he heard the sound of crying, not just playful whining. The kind of cry that carries fear. Ryan looked up and saw two identical little girls huddled together near the swings. A boy easily older and stronger stood over them, yanking one of the girls by the arm while shouting insults. Ryan scanned the park. Dozens of parents, but none moved. His jaw tightened.
Hey!
Ryan's voice boomed across the park, sharp and commanding. Heads turned, but Ryan didn't care. He strode toward the scene, his pace quickening as he saw the girl flinch under the boy's grip. "Let her go." The boy froze, his bravado fading. Ryan reached them in seconds, gently pulling the girl free while placing himself between the children. Bullying. "Really? Pick on someone your own size," he said, his tone calm but firm. The boy muttered something under his breath and ran off. Ryan knelt to the girl's level. They looked about 6, their matching pink jackets smeared with dirt. Tears streaked their cheeks. "Hey, it's okay now. You're safe," he said softly, offering a reassuring smile. "Where's your mom?" They sniffled and pointed toward a distant picnic table, where a woman stood with her back to them, clearly on a call. Ryan frowned, surprised that she hadn't noticed the scene. Still, he took their hands and walked them back, his son trailing behind. As they approached the table, the woman turned, and Ryan's steps faltered. He knew that face. The sleek hair, the confident posture, the sharp eyes that missed nothing. It was Emma Clark, his CEO. Emma's eyes widened in shock before softening into something else, gratitude, maybe even guilt. "Ryan," she said, her voice carrying both surprise and curiosity. What are you doing here?" Ryan cleared his throat, suddenly hyper, aware of his wrinkled T-shirt and scuffed sneakers. "Just spending time with my son," he said, gesturing to the boy beside him. "Your daughters were." "Well, there was a situation." Emma immediately knelt and hugged her girls tight, whispering words Ryan couldn't hear. When she finally looked up, there was moisture in her eyes. "They're okay, thanks to you," she said quietly. "I can't believe I didn't see." Her voice broke off, and she shook her head as if trying to erase the thought. Ryan shrugged. "Kids need someone to stand up for them. That's all." Emma studied him for a moment, as though seeing him for the first time. In the office, Ryan was just another face in the crowd, a diligent employee who never drew attention. Here, in the park, he was something else entirely. A protector, a father who understood responsibility in a way few did. The girls clung to Emma, but their teary eyes kept darting toward Ryan with gratitude. He offered them a warm smile before turning to leave, wanting to give Emma privacy. But her voice stopped him. "Wet," she said. "Please stay for a minute." Ryan hesitated. This was surreal. Emma Clark didn't just ask anyone to stay, she commanded boardrooms, not parks. Yet here she was, her voice almost pleading. He nodded slowly, as the kids played together. His son and her twins bonding over the near drama. Ryan and Emma sat on the bench. She seemed different outside the walls of the company. Softer, human. "You know," Emma began, When I took that call, I thought it was the most important thing in my day, a deal worth millions. But when I saw my girls, her voice faltered again. Nothing else matters. Ryan nodded, understanding more than he could say. Life had taught him the same lesson the hard way. For the next half hour they talked, not as boss and employee, but as two parents who carried the weight of the world for their kids. Ryan spoke of the challenges of raising his son alone. Emma admitted how hard it was balancing power with presence. And then something unexpected happened. Emma smiled, a genuine, warm smile he'd never seen in the office. "You're a good man, Ryan," she said, "and a great father." That moment marked the beginning of something neither of them had anticipated. The park incident became the thread that wove two very different lives together. In the days that followed, Ryan returned to work, trying to push the memory aside. But he couldn't. Neither could Emma. The next Monday, Ryan was summoned to the top floor. His stomach tightened, assuming the worst. But when he stepped into Emma's office, she wasn't behind her usual armor of authority. She was smiling. "I owe you more than a thank you," she said, standing to greet him. "You didn't just help my daughters. You reminded me what matters most." Ryan shook his head. "You don't owe me anything. I just did what anyone would do." Emma tilted her head, her expression amused. "Not everyone would have stepped in. You did? That says something about you." Their conversation flowed naturally, echoing the ease of that afternoon in the park. Soon, work meetings turned into shared coffee breaks. Discussions about projects shifted into talks about family, dreams, and second chances. For Ryan, it wasn't about climbing the corporate ladder anymore. It was about connection, real human connection. Emma saw in him the values money couldn't buy: integrity, courage, kindness. Months later, as their kids laughed together on the same swings where it all began, Ryan realized something profound. Sometimes life's hardest days, the ones filled with responsibility and struggle, lead to moments you never saw coming, moments that change everything. For him, it all started with a cry for help and a decision to act.